Bionox is motivating wellness.
Talk about, one of the most rewarding things in what we do is to help people to get to where they're at. And that's what even this tagline, motivating wellness, really the basis of it is meeting people where they're at and doing something to help them to get to a better state of mind, health, and so on.
Yeah,
Tell us about maybe one or two success stories. Can you share a
sure.
couple?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the part of what I do that I love the most. You know, I have had people sometimes who sit across the table from me and just start crying and say, "Why did nobody tell me any of this before?" And the answer is, I'm really sorry. This is not something, and I'm not a doctor, and I will never countermand a doctor. Like, that's not my role as a nutrition educator, but I know a lot about food. And that's where, unfortunately, doctors don't have the knowledge and the expertise. I've been the beneficiary of some amazing medical care in my life, and there are some fabulous doctors out there, but food is an area where I feel they fall a little short. So one of my biggest success stories that I absolutely love, and I run into her every now and then, and it's just always so wonderful because she's doing so great, is a young woman that I was working with. She was in danger of losing her job because she was having such massive migraines that she was calling out of work at least 1 or 2 times a week. She also was overweight, although that wasn't the reason that she came to me. And because of the migraines, like, her life was totally non-functional. And we began to work together, made some changes to her diet, but also looked at a number of other things that were going on. And as we started cleaning things up, and I say we, she's the one who really did it. I just provided the education. But as things cleaned up, she started to get better and better and better. Eventually got to a point where she was not only no longer in danger of losing her job, she was performing so well at work that she actually got a promotion.
Wow.
She also started losing weight because, of course, we were cleaning up a lot of the junk that was in her diet. One of the things that I loved is the last time I saw her, we just happened to run into each other in town, and she said, "I have to tell you, it's so funny to me now when people come over and they open my refrigerator and they're like, 'Dude, where's this soda? How come you don't have any chips?'" And she's like, "I used to live that lifestyle." And I'm so happy for her because she now has a child. And so she's teaching her child from a very young age to not fall into that soda, potato chip, ho-hos thing. So that's wonderful.
Cool. You helped her stop the chain, right? You
Yes,
not only helped her, you're helping the generations to come. So,
absolutely, absolutely. And then one more story that I'd love
sure.
to share with you, because this one just makes me so happy. I am very fortunate. I have good relationships with some of the doctors who are a little bit more functionally minded in my area. So I do occasionally get referrals from them. And this was a woman who was referred to me who had Sibo. And the doctor had made some changes and things got a little bit better, but it wasn't, she was still struggling. We were able to make some changes. And this is one of the places where the micronutrient test was huge, because we were able to see some significant deficiencies, make some changes. My philosophy is food first, supplements second, medical intervention if necessary. So we definitely made some food-based changes. Part of it was that for her, raw food was not an option. Like, cooked vegetables are, she has to do that right now just to allow her system to be able to process them. Inside of 3 weeks, her gut had calmed down to the point where she was actually feeling like she could get through this and do this. Because when she first came to me, she was like, "You are probably my last hope. I have been to so many people and done so many things, and, like, I don't even know what to do anymore." She was so overwhelmed. And now, like, she's feeling more hopeful and more positive, and, she's able to move forward because we were able to make those changes.
Awesome. Of course, SIBO stand for small intestine bacterial overgrowth.
Yeah.
And a lot of the functional medicine people that are in my background, naturopaths, we deal with gut issues. It's a major role in, as you know, in health. And it's good because even a functional and many functional medical doctors are just that. They're medical doctors that come out of school. They learn that they're not getting the results they want to with medicine. They get into functional medicine, which has a lot to do with supplementation, diet. But that's good that they have you, because they don't have the time, right, to really
Right.
talk about diet and really have someone that's accountable. And so unless they have someone in the office, you provide a good role and a good good recommendation for someone who's a functional medical doctor. So that's
Well,
really cool. It's so encouraging, and it's like you say, so rewarding, and that's what makes it all worthwhile, really.
absolutely. And one of the things that I love about working with these functionally minded doctors is they recognize that it's not an if this, then that philosophy. It's not, oh, this is happening, take this. It's why is that happening? How do we figure out why is the body responding this way? And then, for some of them, if it comes down to, oh, this is really more nutritionally based, I do get a referral, which is great.
Very cool. Nice. So what are some of your favorite recipes on your blog, and why do you like
Well,
them?
that's a hard one because I love food and I'm always playing in the kitchen, but I will say because we're leaving summer, but I have one summer recipe that I absolutely love, and we're going into fall, and I have two fall recipes that I adore. So the summer recipe is quinoa tabbouleh, and I came up with that when I realized that gluten and I were maybe not the best of friends. But I still love the flavor of that. And because my husband is a huge cilantro fan, it should be called the quinoa cilantro tabbouleh because I use that instead of mint, but it's amazing. So that's one of my favorites. Tuscan lentil stew is a wonderful recipe because it's just got so many fabulous flavors, and the lentils are so good for protein and fiber, and it's just a very warming, nurturing food. And then one of my favorite snacks is a pumpkin hummus. And so that's, this is the time of year there. It's not quite here pumpkin season yet, but we're getting awfully close.
Yeah,
They'll be appearing soon.
nice. I'll look out for that one. That sounds interesting. But I'm with your husband. I'm a big fan of cilantro. My wife made a dish the other day that was a cilantro dressing, which used copious amounts of cilantro that she put in the blender. And it turned out real creamy with some of the ingredients she put, but it was awesome.
That's
So,
great.
yeah. So,
So do you have that on your website? I'd love to see it.
well, I'll have to ask her what it was, because yeah, you being into the things that you're into, I'll find out, and I'll share that with
Okay,
you. Yeah, for
that
sure.
sounds great.
So what is your best piece of advice that you would offer to someone just starting out on their healthy food journey?
The best piece of advice I can give them is to start with food journaling. And it's so interesting because we're surrounded by marketing messages that tell us, oh, this is healthy, this has a full day's supply of whatever. We get stuck sometimes in that pattern, and we maybe don't realize how nutritionally devoid our eating plan is until we actually write down what we eat in a day. That really is gaining that awareness is probably the biggest single key to being able to make effective change.
Good point. It's hard. You can't get to another destination without first knowing where you're at, right?
Yeah. And the other thing is we think we'll remember, but I'm going to tell you, and you and me both probably, I'm a nutrition professional. I've been doing this for 16 years. And I'm going to tell you that I don't remember what I had for lunch on Thursday. Like, I just
Right.
don't.
Right. Exactly. No, so true. So no, that's a really good piece of advice, because then it's going from somewhere in ether space, these things that we're doing, like you said, it's just habits that we get involved in. You just get in a habit until you stop and really look at things and get them from into a actual something where you can look at it. A lot of times we just don't realize how off course we really are. So anyway, good piece of advice. We're going to switch gears a little bit. The reason that we're chatting today is because we're both involved with a nonprofit called American Holistic Health Association. I'm at a very small level involved. You're at a much greater level involved. We, as a company, our company Bionox, have been looking for people that we can partner with, people we can support financially that has the same kind of a core philosophies as we do. Me coming from a naturopathic background, and then what we do with our company. And it's not easy to do. The American Holistic Health Association really stood out to us. So we did get involved recently. The acronym is AHA, which is kind of cool. Not the 80s group, the American Holistic Health Association. So tell us about the organization. How did it start? What's the core principles? Things like that.
Sure. So the organization actually started 31 years ago when our president, Suzanne Walter, was at a meeting of two different health-based organizations. And she was talking about her passion and her vision for creating a place that could be an impartial clearinghouse for health and wellness information. And a bunch of the people who were there thought it was a great idea. They agreed to help support her. And the organization began from these very humble roots at a meeting room, in New England. I think it's a testament to the power of her vision that 31 years later, we are still here and continuing to grow and share information. We provide resources, information about healthy lifestyle in the face of so much misinformation that's out there. And we really do try very hard to be impartial and to allow people to simply gather the information and make their own choices, while encouraging them to recognize that there is a connection between diet, lifestyle, and disease.
So if I had a certain diagnosis that I was not happy with, could I go to the website and find information specifically that could be helpful with a condition? Or
so we try to address as much as we can. I mean, obviously, if we start seeing that there is an area where we perhaps don't have as much information, we can look for more resources to provide that. But we really do, yes, provide a lot. We have this wonderful searchable database with a lot of resources. As a matter of fact, I'll share that we're in the middle of a website redo. And part of the reason it's taking so long is because we have this enormous database and we refuse to give up any of the information, like we're not cutting any of it. So to figure out how to port everything over is, a bit of a technological challenge.
that website, is it American Holistic Health Association.org?
No, it's aha.org.
Very good. Good. I apologize.
We didn't want people to have to spend all day typing.
No, that's perfect. I mean, how can you go wrong? AHHA.org.
And we also have an astounding, so we have a board of directors. I am a member of the board of directors, which is practitioners who are focused on helping to run the organization. But we also have an amazing board of advisors. It includes things like Deepak Chopra, Dr. Christiane Northrup, Dr. Daniel Amen. Like, we have some really amazing people who believe in our mission.
It's a great one. I mean, the fact that people have a place where they can go to, it's not going to cost them anything. It's purely information based, impartial, that they just want to get answers. I mean, it's a great service.
It is. And one of the other things that we're committed to as well, like you said, it is free information. It's freely available. If people choose to join, we do have, like, you can join as a consumer, as a practitioner, as an organization. We make the membership very, very accessible. It's not expensive. And that's just, if people choose to join, it helps support our mission and provides funds for us to continue to do what we do.
Sure. Website takes money, to keep it going and to
does.
buy extra space in the iCloud or whatever. It all
Yeah.
takes money. Excellent. Well, I appreciate. I'm glad that we have something that we can support as a company as well. So
Well, and we're grateful to have people like you joining our mission and being part of that, because that's really how we not only grow, but help reach and support other people. Like that is our mission, is just to support as many people as possible with the holistic tools and resources that they need.
okay, well, let's transition a bit again. Our big thing with Bionox is nitric oxide. Here's a little model of it back here. 1 part nitrogen, 1 part oxygen. I just became completely enamored with it back in 2005 in the middle of my naturopathic practice. And I was just blown away by the research and then blown away by the response that the people that were coming to see me were receiving when we boosted nitric oxide. So we're just kind of all about that. So I know we talked earlier, and you have some familiarity with the nitric oxide as far as some foods supporting that. And
Sure.
you'd mentioned that, and some of those are.
Oh, that would be things like beets, dark leafy greens, dark chocolate. Who doesn't love that? And watermelon. I know those are some of the top sources of that.
One of my favorite nitric oxide meals is the arugula beet salad. Arugula, by weight, has more nitrates than any other vegetable, root, otherwise, even more than beets. So you got the arugula, then you put the roasted beets on there, some walnuts, a little goat cheese, and a nice vinaigrette, and you got a powerhouse, a little nitric oxide powerhouse of a salad, and it tastes awesome. Besides, I love it.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it's really good. So that's what we do. So we're primarily involved in the supplement space supporting nitric oxide. So we do a greens powder, which has 26 different superfoods in it.
Wow.
Main ingredient being a special arugula powder. So that gives us, it has 100 milligrams of nitrates per serving, per scoop, and then it has 26 other or 25 other superfoods in it. But there's certain diets even that are really support the whole nitrate. Of course, you're familiar with the Mediterranean diet, the DASH diet. If you're familiar with the DASH diet, dietary approaches to stop hypertension, you could be getting up to some 1,500 milligrams a day of naturally occurring nitrates. And it's no wonder it helps people with their blood pressure. So it's been shown to be very effective to help people with cardiovascular issues in particular. So anyways, that's one of our products. Then we have more of an arginine citrulline base. So there's the nitrate pathway, and then we have the arginine pathway. So they work differently. This converts into nitric oxide in the blood vessel. The nitrate products convert in the digestive system, as long as you have good oral microbiome. So anyway, the M3 is all about the arginine pathway. And then our latest is the NOx3 beets. So this has a particular beet powder that's nicely supplies the nitrate value, again, which a lot of, depending on where foods are grown, the nitrate values are all across the board. But to really get the nitric oxide boost, nitrates are just critical.
Well, and one of the things that I think people don't always keep in mind is that it's fabulous to get as much as we can through our food, but sometimes it's difficult to consume enough. For example, if you were to try to eat the amount of beets that's probably in that, it would be very difficult because of all of the fiber. And when you concentrate it, dehydrate it down to make a powder, you're actually able to get in quite a bit more because you're not having to, sit there and chew your way through all of it.
Well, it's so true. And to your point, I very much agree with your philosophy. Let's start with the basics first. Good food, good water, good air, exercise, those type of things. But supplementation is a great way to do just that. Supplement what you're already doing. So this is a lozenge. They taste fantastic. They got like a tart cherry flavor, and it's a great way to supplement. So
And
definitely
which
want to
one
get
is that?
that's the
what's in the
NOx3.
lozenge?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
In a lozenge. That's cool. I've not seen that
And
before.
one of the reasons we did it as in a lozenge is again because to create the nitric oxide, the first step is converting nitrates to nitrites, and you have
Hmm.
to have a good oral microbiome. And you
Okay.
have to, ideally, you kind of let this just dissolve in there. So there's things also to help with your oral microbiome so that when it gets into the stomach, then it convert back into nitric oxide. So anyway, so that's kind of the premise of how the product works. So I'm gonna get you one of these. Sounds like you
Oh,
might be
thank
interested
you.
in the beets.
Yeah, that sounds
Maybe
interesting.
maybe the greens could
Sure.
be something. So
Yeah.
we'll let you try that out and see what you think. And we'll get you a cool t-shirt too. How about that?
There you go.
So anyway, and we're going to be doing a special deal. It's a 50% off our canister of M3. M3, our arginine product, is our top selling product. And so we have a deal, which you'll see on the screen here. So if you're a first-time customer, and it has to be a first-time customer, we can get you a 50% off on a 30 scoop to try out of our
Oh, that sounds
M3.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people like that, it offers a good deal, and they can see the results of our product. So how about you? We want to talk about how people can get in touch with you. What's the best way?
Sure. Well, the best way to get in touch with me is my website, theingredientguru.com. I am also on social media. You can find me on Instagram, all the things. And I actually would like to make an offer to anybody who's listening to this as well. So, as the ingredient guru, I am always reading, always learning, always searching. And at one point, I decided that it'd be really fun to have some people to read along with me. So, I created the Ingredient Guru's Healthy Readers Book Club. And in the book club, we read 10 books a year, and they are books primarily based on either food or the environment, healthy lifestyle, that kind of thing. And as we go through each book, it's an annotated book club. So I'm sharing resources and videos and more information based on the information that's in the book. So it's really fascinating. We like dive in really deeply. The next book that we're going to be reading is called The Town That Food Saved: How One Community Found Vitality in Local Food. So I'm really excited about this book. It sounds very interesting. And what I can do is send you a link so that anybody, it's normally $60 a year for the book club. And I'll give a free year to anybody who has the coupon code. So I'll give that to you so you can add that in.
Awesome. So we can have that link and post it on the video here too, right? So that
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
can
Absolutely.
could snag it and take advantage of
Uh-huh.
that.
There you go.
Nice.
But
Appreciate that.
it's a fun, we've read some astounding books and learned so much in this book club. It's amazing.
Cool. Very nice. Excellent. Well, it's been a pleasure to be with you, Mira. You've been a really great guest. Lots of information, but we're not done with you just quite yet. We got a
Okay.
few. We got a few little rapid fire questions. So you're in the Houston area, correct?
I am.
So could you tell us? There's got to be some little restaurant that serves healthy food that's delicious. Do you have something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have True Food Kitchen here, which is one of my favorites. I like going there.
Nice. Good. So if you're in that area, check out True Food Kitchens. Now, what about an activity in the Houston area that you enjoy?
Honestly, I love the zoo. We have a phenomenal zoo here.
How about it?
Yeah.
That's
And one of
cool.
my favorite things to do is to go watch the little meerkats because they have an open area. I mean, they're screened from the people, but it's open, and so it's very funny to watch them. They're running around, and all of a sudden somebody goes.
Right. They are comical. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
cute little guys. So how about what's next for you? You mentioned the book you've already made, The Pantry Principle, how to read the
Mhm.
label and understand what's really in your food. What else do you have coming up for us?
So the next big thing that I have coming up, I am working on a master class called the Preparedness Pantry. And it's going to be a class that's going to teach people how to store food in a way that is healthy, but also allows them to have what their family needs in an emergency situation. So we're putting that together. We'll have that available. Our goal is hopefully either the end of this year or the beginning of next year. So December or January.
Very cool. Well, Mira, we ask that you continue motivating wellness. You're doing a great work and a great service to help people. And so continue. And we wish you all the best. Thank you for spending time with us. Remember the websites, theingredientguru.com.
Yep.
Remember ahha.org. Go
Yep.
visit the American Holistic Health Association website. And we will look forward to hearing more from you and following up with you.
Well, Dr. J, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun. I've loved chatting with you.
Yeah, very cool. Well, have a great day, and we will
Great.
talk soon.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye.